Hi everyone, welcome to the Fat Lady Knits. I am so glad you have a few minutes to spend with me today. What have I been up to? We know where I am, Sock Island. And I'm going to try and do this without bending my head. I managed to get more of me. I'm getting better at this, yay! But now you can see one hand instead of both. That's all right. What did I do? I made 2 pairs of socks. And um, remember this? Yes. She went on a diet and lost some weight. Those are words my doctor would like to hear next time he sees me. Okay? But remember, I went on and on and on about how I liked the pink part, but I didn't like the gray, but I liked the pink. Well, what did I do? I went and I cut off, once again, here is Blue's Lycra. We need to get a divorce. Okay, Lycra? Okay? Stay there. Um, I cut different pieces and I figure I would Kitchener and then I would put in my after cuff, my after heel, my after toe. That didn't happen. Why didn't that happen? Because I made a mess. An absolute mess. After I was done, I couldn't get the, what couldn't I figure? I couldn't get the pieces to match. It's like no 2 pieces were the same. I turned them upside down. I said, you know what? I have a CSM. I don't need to stress like this. Yes, this already has Lycra in it, so when I rethread it, it might give me some problems, but it is what it is. So what did I do? I keep having trouble with this word. I pulled the thing out and I rolled it into a ball, or I worked directly from a piece. And what did I get? It's easier to show you on this. I got this. Isn't, okay? See the pattern? I fell in love with this pattern many, many years ago. And for the longest while, I couldn't figure out how to make it. I kept looking at it, and I'm like, other people are doing it on the CSM. How come I can't figure it out? Well, I figured it out this week, and I'm pleased. I have a pair of socks in that pattern. And what amazes me is that you can actually see the pattern, which then reminds me, I've told the story before, to keep your mouth shut. If you have nothing good to say, be quiet. Because this lady made a pair of socks in yarn that was as busy as this. And she put cables in it. And I was like, you do know it's very well done. I complimented her on her work, but the yarn is so busy that the cables got lost. That reminds me, I will never do that again. Okay? And just in case, I am just so shocked that you can actually see this. Wow. Wow. And just in case you couldn't, I have the, can you see that? Would it show more on this side? Oh no, totally blown out. Would it show? Nope, nope. Now that is hilarious. Because of the bright light, you can barely see the back. Forget it. That is hilarious. I thought no one would be able to see this on this busy, busy yarn. And it shows on the busy, busy yarn, but on the white that I can clearly see in front of me. I wonder, would it show more? Is it that it's not a matter of it showing, it's a matter of me without glasses trying to, okay, let's see. There. It's sideways, but I'm sure you can use your imagination. If I tilt it like so, tilt it, that's what the stitch pattern, oh, that was the light playing with me. Okay, you get the idea, okay? So, I am really pleased with this, and yeah, so these came out. I have a pair of shorties. I love shorties. I just noticed though, I didn't put any picot in. And everyone knows I'm the Pico Queen. I don't know what I was thinking, but I have some pretty pink socks. Yay! And I'm going to put this over here. Hold on. And I'm going to reach and put it down because, as the princess says, nobody wants to see the top of my bald head. And it's not bald, it's starting to grow, so I need to scrape it again. What else did I do? Let's see, it's easier to show you on this. These are my Stegosaurus socks. And remember that gray that I went on and on about how hideous it is? It is not hideous. It is beautiful by itself. It just doesn't look good, so good with that pink. Okay, or the pink, and just to interrupt it with this gray, no. But look, by itself, it's a beautiful gray. It is. It's really elegant. So what did I do? What's going on up here? I put in, what are these? These are mini heels. Instead of being made over half the socks, they're made over 16 stitches. So you have these little triangles that you could stuff, that you could iron flat, or that you can, and I'm going to have them going all kinds of ways. So people will think of prehistoric socks. Oh my God, you would think I don't know English. So people would think I have made prehistoric socks from the age of the dinosaurs. And I think I should look for a gray. I didn't know gray could look so good. This looks really, it looks really, really elegant. It does. And throwing that pop of color in the gray is like, whoa, what did she do? And I have a whole pair, and it has my Pico. Yes, the Pico Queen strikes again. And I might make another one. I should probably try one in layers like scales. But what I'm thinking is, I really like shorties. Except for my really long socks, I'm a shorty girl. Okay? What I'm thinking though is these would look awesome. These sticking points would look awesome on a pair of leggings. Okay? Or would that be too childish for an adult? I'm not sure. But I'm pleased with this. This was fun to work with. And I wish right now I could collect all the gray. And I can. I can collect all the gray and make myself another pair of gray socks. Maybe gray and yellow. Maybe a full plain gray. But gray is not a color I wear very... What am I talking about? They're socks. Who cares what color they are? But it came out really, really nice. So I'm pleased with that. And once again, I'm going to slide these over here. Oops, something fell. My glasses, I can't pick it up because I would have to bend. There you are, princess. I slid it over without bending my head. Okay? And then, okay, those are the two I did. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these bits and bobs that I have here because they're not enough to make a pair of socks. I can get a sock, but not a pair of socks. So I have to see. Pink and what? Pink and gray, pink and yellow, pink and white. No, I don't want pink and white. I'll have to see. I have time. I can figure it out. Okay, so that takes care of that. What else have I been up to? An adventure. What happened? One of the princesses is a fencer. And you know they have that pantaloon that comes right below the knee. She comes to me and she says, I need a pair of knee-high socks. And I'm like, oh, great. When do you need it? I'm thinking she's going to tell me in a month or two. She said, oh, I need it in 2 weeks. I go, 2 weeks? And then I hear from the Greek chorus, you have a circular sock machine and you can't get a pair of socks done in 2 weeks? I looked at them. The princess is telling me, if she told me this on a Friday, I know she's going back to school on Sunday. Okay? And I have things that have to be done. And I'm thinking when I make this sock, she's not going to be around for me to try it on her to see if it's knee high. Is it too long? Is it not long enough? What? So I go home and I go through my stash. And what do I find? I have red croy sock yarn and black croy sock yarn. I'm like, yes! So I run to Blue, I put my ribber on, and I am ribbing that red yarn. Yes! And then I take it off, and I go and I rib the black yarn. We all know I usually don't make just a straight socks. I'm always doing something. So I take the red yarn that's rib and the black that's a rib, and I put them next to each other. And my mouth falls open. The red yarn is thick. The black yarn is thicker. They don't match. The minute you look at them, you're like, is this Sesame Street and one of these things just does not belong? So I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I know I don't have red in any other yarn maker's yarn. I don't. There's no red. I don't have red opal, or I don't even know if they make red opal. So I said, you know what? I have active yarn on cone. Let me make a pair of socks, and then I'll dye it. So I made a pair of socks. I Kitchenered as and I dye it. What did I forget? You normally dye with hot water. What did the socks do? They shrank. And to make matters worse, I wasn't even thinking, hadn't realized they shrunk. I applied lycra to them. Lycra, they had lycra in them when I knitted them. I applied steam from an iron. What did they do? Shrink even more. The princess came back a week later. We tried the sock on her. It didn't even make it to her calf. I was like, oh boy. So I rushed back to the CSM. I made, please forgive me. I have no idea why this happens. You would think I don't know English, but I promise I do. I make a second pair of socks. And this time, instead of a rib of 70 rows, I did a rib of 132 rows, okay? And I forget how much I did for the leg, but I put in enough rows that it would fit me, and she's shorter than I am. So if it can get to my knee, it will fit hers. And I'm gonna dye it, so it's going to shrink more. So I made sure. I did the sock. She came back the Friday. She's leaving Saturday, and I don't know if this sock fits. She tries them on, and they're perfect. Thank you, Blue. You do good work. I was like, yes, God. Thank you. And then she goes off. But then I had a thought. She goes to tournaments all the time, because fencing, they're always at a tournament. I mean, this is a sport designed so you can fight somebody with a thing so you can't kill them, okay? Well, she was happy with her sock, and I have a picture so I can show you. Yes. Oh, we don't want the shine. Here we are. So she has a pair of socks. One is red, one is black, okay? So that came out well, which means I now have a to-do list of how many other pairs of red and black socks that I need to make so that the young lady is prepared for her tournaments. Okay? And I've also been told I can embellish the socks. So the red sock doesn't have to be plain. The black sock doesn't have to be plain. I can put cables, I can put lace, I can put flowers. It's just that one sock has to be red and one sock has to be black. Okay? Now, would I be playing devil's advocate if I asked to see the socks that she has worn to other tournaments? Because she goes to tournaments every month. What does she wear? Or should I just leave that alone? I should probably leave that alone because she's a teenager And we never know where their minds are, and she might think I'm picking on her. Maybe I'll just leave that alone, okay? But doing her sock has led to another challenge. Oh my goodness. Or is it the same challenge? I have to think about that. Ah, our 15 minutes are up. I gotta go. I'm sure you do too. Catch you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.